Oh hi! Welcome back to Ill Dice D&D. Here we make D&D character builds designed to be fun, functional, and usable in most adventure modules, aiming at that sweet spot at level 11. So whether you're new and looking for a build, or a pro seeking out something new, you're in the right place. I'm Axel, and I shall be your host. Now, right off the bat, this is the build that made me realize that I wanted to make this channel. It was right after the Dungeon Jews made their multi-class ranking video for barbarians, and when the casters came up for multi-classing, they immediately were given a D ranking all across the board, as if there was just nothing that could be viably made with a barbarian. Well, sorry dudes, you're awesome, but challenge accepted. Let's get into the build. Muscles, rage, and out of its cage. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect barbarian. This time, however, we're going to add an extra ingredient: chemical edge. A mighty warrior emerges whose peerless skill in dispatching enemies has earned the attention of a sinister being. A being that bestows a gift of dark hunger for death and destruction to perpetrate a vicious cycle. Whether you are a mighty warrior of a cult, a savage that caught the eye of a wicked spirit, or simply a barbarian who totally misinterpreted the term double-edged sword, today you are the Bloodbather. Okay, for level 1, we're going to be a Barbarian 1. Pretty classic, standard barbarian, and we're going to be that for a little while. For the ability scores, we're going to go with point buy. We're going to have a 14 strength with plus 2 there for 16. We're going to have a 14 dexterity, a 13 constitution plus 1 there for 14 constitution. I know that hurts, but it'll get better. For intellect is our dump stat, just an 8. We're going to have a 14 in charisma, and we have 1 point left, so we're going to put that in wisdom for 9. For gear, we're going to go gold buy, and you want to get a weapon of your choice, a large weapon, and it can either be a great sword, great axe, maul, doesn't matter, but for us we're going to go a great sword. And then whatever armor you can afford. For this one, we're going to go a breastplate. At first level, we get Rage. We get advantage on stealth checks, extra damage on melee attacks, and resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing attacks while not wearing heavy armor. Right now, we can only do that twice per long rest. We also get unarmored defense, where our AC is going to be 10, plus our dexterity, plus our constitution, which is just 14 right now, if we're not wearing any armor. Proficiencies, we get the wonderful Constitution saving throw and 2 skill proficiencies. One of them, I highly recommend getting Perception. It's the best skill proficiency. Beyond that, pick your favorite. For level 2, we're going to be a Barbarian 2, which gives us Reckless Attack, which is advantage on melee attacks we make, but all attacks that we receive will have advantage as well until our next turn. And Danger Sense. Advantage on dexterity saving throws that we could see. It's essentially a pseudo proficiency in dexterity. Now for level 3, we're going to be a Barbarian 3, and this is where we get our primal path. For this one, we're going to go Path of the Zealot, which gives us Divine Fury, 1d6 plus half our Barbarian level rounded down in damage. Currently it's 1. We get to pick between Radiant or Necrotic. Normally Radiant's the better way to go. We also get Warrior of the Gods. Resurrection spells can be cast on us without the need of material components. Not sure who has such a spell at this level, but still nice to have. Our number of rages that we get to do per long rest increases to 3, which is great, we need it all the time. And we also get the optional ability of Primal Knowledge, which is a 3rd skill proficiency. In my opinion, since we have Charisma, it'll be good to pick up Intimidation. As we head to level 4, we're going to be Barbarian 4, and this gives us our ability score increase or feat. What we're going to be picking here is, just to no one's surprise, Great Weapon Master. Bonus action attack on crit or kill, or we could take a -5 penalty to attack rolls to get a +10 to the damage roll. Now this is normally pretty bad, but this is circumvented with Reckless Attack, making this feat one of the most powerful ones for a Barbarian to pick up, and is of course what we're going to do. And now at level 5, we're going to be Barbarian 5, which gives us extra attack. We attack twice per turn. Any martial character is going to be gunning for this as soon as possible, and here we are. We also get fast movement, which increases our speed by 10 while not wearing heavy armor, which we're never going to wear heavy armor. But we've clearly established ourselves as a successful rage machine, so it is time to take a dark edgelordian turn into Warlock. At level 6, we're going to be Warlock 1. This gives us Pact Magic, which is 2 cantrips, which I would suggest Eldritch Blast and Mage Hand or Prestidigitation. Most it doesn't matter, pick your favorite. I would strongly recommend Eldritch Blast though, so you would be able to have a nice ranged option if we cannot physically reach our targets, such as flying enemies. We also get 2 spells. Pick your favorite, and this is going to be what we're going to do throughout the entirety of our career. Just pick your favorite spells as we learn them. We're not going to see many spells in combat because we can't cast spells or concentrate while raging. So pick your favorite. We'll have more use of the spell slots later on. But then we get to what we were after, our other worldly patron, and we are picking the Fiend. It gives us a list of extra spells that, while nice, again, we will likely never touch during combat, so use them how you wish. But what we're here for is Dark One's Blessing. Temporary health on kill equal to our Charisma modifier plus our Warlock level, which is currently 3. Now these temporary points increase in efficiency due to our Rage. It's small now, just 3, but it is the equivalent of 6 total hit points that refresh whenever you kill something, which you are very good at. The core of this build's design has just come online, and it's only going to get better. With that, we are here at the middle of the build, which is time for a damage report. Major shout out to Colby over at D&D Deep Dive for sharing the tool he uses for his damage reports. I'll leave some links in the comments below so you can check out his channel and the tool being used. We are currently on par with a classic, raging, Great Weapon Master Barbarian at this level. With a Greatsword, Rage, Reckless Attack, Great Weapon Master, and Divine Fury, we'll do at a target with an AC of 10, 32 DPR. With a target of 15 AC, we're going to do about 29 DPR, not that much lower. So thanks to Reckless Attack, we are golden at pretty much any time. But we're only halfway to doing even more damage, and it's going to skyrocket soon. But until then, level 7, Warlock 2. We get our Eldritch Invocations. They're neat little features, and we can only get 2 right now. They can be replaced each time you get a Warlock level. First, we're going to pick up Fiendish Vigor. This lets us cast a first level False Life at will without using a spell slot or material components. This can be done out of combat, and it doesn't require concentration, and it gives us 1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points. This is a perfect early buffer until we start getting temporary hit points from Dark One's Blessing. Our second invocation, pick your favorite, but don't get too attached to it. It's going to be replaced in the next level. At this level we also get a third cantrip, pick your favorite. There is Mage Hand and Prestidigitation. They may not be useful in combat, but they are amazing out of combat, and we could use them. And we also get a third spell, and we get a second level 1 spell slot. Then we get to level 8, which we're getting Warlock 3. This is a Pact Boon, where things start to change. We are going to pick up Pact of the Blade. This allows us to create a melee weapon out of thin air in our empty hand. It could be any weapon of our choosing, or we could perform a ritual over a long rest to make a pact with the weapon that we are using. It is also magical for overcoming resistances and immunities to non-magical attacks. And because we got Pact of the Blade, we're going to change that previous invocation with improved Pact Weapon. This gives our Pact Weapon a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls, unless it already has a better bonus, which our current Greatsword doesn't, but it's going to be better now. It also allows our weapon to be a spellcasting focus. So now we can use our Greatsword for Eldritch Blast. Pew pew! Our spell slots are now level 2 with a 4th spell of your choosing. That brings us to level 9 with a 4th level in Warlock. This is where we get another ability score increase per feat. Now at this level, we're starting to find some really nasty spells that tend to target our wisdom saving throws, which could take us out of the fight, or worse, cause us to be mind controlled. So we are going to take the resilient feat and we're picking wisdom. This increases our wisdom to 10, so we have no more penalty to our wisdom saving throws, and now we have proficiency in wisdom saving throws. This is going to save us a lot of hassle. We also get a 5th known spell at this level. And at level 10, we're going to be a Warlock 5. This is where things get good. We get a 6th spell, and the spell slots that we have are now level 3. And we get our 3rd Eldritch Invocation, and we're going to pick up Eldritch Smite. Once per turn, we can use one of our spell slots to do 1d8 plus 1d8 times spell level force damage when we hit a creature with our Pact Weapon. And we can knock that target prone if it is huge or smaller. Finally, your spell slots matter in combat, and in a big way. Right now, this is 4d8, twice per short rest, and can crit, functioning just like a Paladin Smite. You could do it while you rage. Go wild. Now, here is where the build is essentially complete, but this is a build for level 11, so we got an extra level to work with. So for this one, we will go at level 11, Barbarian 6. We now have 4 uses of our rage per long rest. A lot of people will say 3 uses of our rage per long rest is all we need, but I personally have ran into circumstances many times where I wish I had a 4th use, more often than I would have liked, so this is definitely what I would do. This means our Divine Fury now does 1d6 plus 3 damage, a small bump. And we get Fanatical Focus. Once per rage, if we fail a saving throw while raging, we can reroll it and use the new roll. It's not the best feature, but an extra measure to make sure we don't fall prey to effects that would otherwise take us out of the fight is always useful. And now, this would be the perfect time for our final damage report. With our new Pact Weapon and Eldritch Smites, we would now do, at a target AC of 10, we would do 56 DPR. At a target AC of 15, we would do 53. We're not dropping very far. And at a target AC of 20, we would do 46. It drops quite a bit, but we're still going strong. And this is just the damage. Every time you kill something, you are getting temporary hit points equal to 2 plus your Warlock level, which is 7, so 7 temporary HP every single time you kill, which they have to chew through twice as much because of your rage. Keep going. You are ready for taking on and mowing down hordes of enemies before you. You're probably asking, what about later levels, going on past level 11? If you do that, I would suggest going towards the closest ability score increase you could, which would be Barbarian 8. Or if you want, you can keep going Warlock levels to Warlock 8. You're going to get a lot of stuff between then, but we really want to get our strength up. We've been leaving it alone at 16 all the way up until this point. It doesn't feel good, and we've kind of cheated a little bit with the Pact of the Blade. But if we get there, we're going to be sitting really pretty. There's also a good argument for going fighter, so you can pick up things like Battle Master, and of course the same amount of ability score increases. So it's all up to you. There's many paths you can take, but right now you are truly the Bloodbather. So, what did you think about the build? Tell me what you thought down in the comments below. And if you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, so I can bring you more of these wonderful builds. And I hope to see you again here at Ill Dice D&D.